With the King and Princess of Wales now both battling cancer, William became the primary figurehead for the House of Windsor. But in this crisis, there was no brother, no Harry for him to lean on and share his personal pain. The question the world's now asking, can the bond between brothers ever be rebuilt? Once brothers in arms. Sons of the most famous woman in the world. Through good times and through tragedy. The brothers so close with an unbreakable bond as the boys became men. Captain Harry Wales risking his life serving his country in Afghanistan.
This was an extraordinary man. He has done amazing things. He fought for his country. He was a natural raconteur and a natural human person that we connected with. The Invictus Games is a brilliant idea that is executed really well.
The Duke of Cambridge saving lives as an air ambulance pilot back home. And when romance called, they remained side by side. At William and Kate's fairy tale wedding in 2011, and again 7 years later for the union of Harry and Meghan.
We loved it because we loved him. We wanted him to be happy. You know, this sort of troubled soul who'd walked behind his mother's coffin at the age of 12, you know, really tender. There's not a person alive that doesn't look at those images and feel for him. And then, of course, he's found this wonderful bride who seems perfect for him. You know, she's a go-getter. She's been on the world stage herself. Their interests seem really aligned. And it looked so hopeful and so modern and so progressive. And it just went so badly wrong so quickly.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will no longer go by His and Her Royal Highness.
They say they intend to step back as senior members of the royal family.
But this is much more than that. They're not just stepping back, they are stepping away entirely from royal life.
Megxit was astonishing. It was astonishing because of its speed, the delivery of the announcements around it. There was no consideration, no deep thinking. It was how Harry and Meghan operate.
The way that I saw it was, there is a way of doing things, but for us, for this union and the specifics around her race, there was an opportunity, many opportunities, for my family to show some public support.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
It was a public betrayal going nuclear.
Your relationship with your father? Is he taking your calls now?
Yeah, he is. There's a lot to work through there. You know, I feel really let down. My father and my brother, they are trapped. They don't get to leave. And I have huge compassion for that.
The interview, the memoir, the audiobook, the family's secrets laid painfully bare.
It was terrifying to have my brother scream and shout at me and my father say things that just simply weren't true, and my grandmother, you know, quietly sit there and sort of take it all in.
When I was around them, they were two very close friends, and it saddens me to think that that's gone. The family does need to pull together. Blood is thicker than water, and they do need to be there to support each other. And whatever's happened in the past, they've almost got to kind of close the doors on the past and look to the future.
Within the royal inner circle, it was an astonishing fall from grace.
They were unhappy in this role. Secondly, they seemed very ill-fitted for it. And considering what happened subsequently, to them stepping down as senior working royals. You had immensely damaging interviews on Oprah, the Harry and Meghan documentary on Netflix, Harry's memoir Spare and the interviews he gave to promote it. I mean, these were very damaging to the royal family.
Harry and Meghan were now out in the cold. At the Queen's funeral, demoted to second-row seats. At the coronation, a lone Harry now on the third row, obscured by Princess Anne's feathered cap. Surely, this was no coincidence.
He said disgusting things of the royal family. He left in 2020 and it got worse and worse. His interview with Oprah Winfrey and also his Spare that he wrote, where he was incredibly unpleasant about them, told lots of lies.
As 2023 became 2024, Harry watched from his adopted home in California as first his father, then his sister-in-law were cruelly diagnosed with cancer. But any hopes that through adversity would come reconciliation were quickly dashed.
Harry and William's relationship is incredibly fractured, to put it mildly, and I don't think that there's any way back for it, certainly not in the near future. And certainly there is absolutely no love lost between the brothers.
In a sign of just how fractured relations are between Prince Harry and the royal family, the wayward son only found out about Princess Catherine's cancer diagnosis on television at the same time as the rest of the world.
But you can see from the British royal family's point of view why there would be a reluctance to say anything, because they don't know where it's going to end up. Will it be shared in a podcast? Will it end up in a magazine interview? Will it be in another documentary? Will it be in another book? They just don't know.
Harry should keep well away. He's not wanted, and he certainly won't be on the top of Prince William's list to talk to, because he'll ramble on about himself. He probably might go in and think, I've got a story here somehow and I can sell this to make X money and Meghan will be pleased.
The stress that Harry has caused over the last few years, has that contributed to the health crisis engulfing the royal family?
It's interesting to reflect on whether you think that Harry would be self-aware enough to be thinking about what impact he might have had on this family. And the royals have never looked more vulnerable, and Harry has to accept that he played a part in that.